Hello and welcome back to Motorsport Manager with me and the Sailing Speed Stars. I had to cut this little intro in because I ended up with a huge episode I'll split into two. So let's get to Dubai. So here we are at practice. We got Frankie in car 1, Sarah in car 2. We could put Sabrina in. She does have a slightly higher feedback, so why not? Why not? They're about the same weight. So there shouldn't really be much difference in the setups they want. There's no water on track. It's Dubai, but do check. And there's no water going to be on the track. Sometimes you want to look, you want to check that it's not going to rain in a few laps. More specifically in qualifying, but you never know. So I'm going to go for, in terms of setup, now I'm going to use the simple first punt technique and then 2 more times to settle it down. In this race series, we've then got qualifying to fine-tune. You can kind of look at the circuit, and it will bear some relation to the circuit of how you might think this might be set up, if you know about such things, from setting up cars in Forza. I will just say that as far as I can tell, tyre pressure and tyre camber only act as small adjustments. They don't have any effect on tyre wear or, you know, they do obviously make a difference because they're adjusting these, but use them solely to make small adjustments on these and use these 3 to make the big adjustments rather than trying to like tinker these because you want something and then trying to fit these around them. That's my advice anyway. So tyre choice. I've actually forgotten, and it's really annoying. I find it very annoying. There's nowhere in this screen now that I can see how many laps the race is going to be. It is too late for me to tell. It doesn't tell me anywhere. Let's check again. No, it's just giving me the session length. But that will make a difference so you can really think about which tyres you want. I'm just going to go for softs for both drivers, get the training up on them. So you're going to get... I'm going to go in the middle on the weight balance. We're going to go... The mechanics recommendation is kind of relevant. So we'll use it as a starting point. We'll go right in the middle of that recommendation. And I know we want low gearing on this circuit. It's the weight balance I'm not really sure about. In fact, for our first punt, we're just going to go pretty much in the middle of all the mechanics recommendations. And then we'll adjust it from there. Then Sabrina, we're going to put you onto the same tyres, and we're going to go maybe higher and softer, and well, yeah, speed balance. We'll leave yours on 6, and off we go. And now, do we want to take practice or simulate it? I've never simulated a practice. So we can pause. You might want to do that first. Do look at the water on the track. I'll talk as we're going round about how the weather you can use the weather prediction for the race to be sneaky or not. We're going to send out Frankie. The setting is done. Stint, I want to make sure she's running up XP, as it were, for race trim. Qualifying is not an issue. She's on the right tyres. If you want to change anything around now in this screen, and this is why you want to do your setup and stuff before you do, it adds time to this timer, and that's time before you will leave the pits after doing any of those changes. So that's why you want to do your car setup before you get to this screen, if you want to maximise your time out driving. So there you go, straight out, where it was, just for the sake of it, with Brillhart. Even changing stint, they're both on race trim. Usually, quite often, they're both on qualifying. But it's even 10 seconds just to change trim, but I believe it is worth it. So they're already on the right tyres, because changing tyres would be 3 seconds. Messing with the car setup can be, it depends. It could be a lot of time. No, it can't. 15 seconds max. But you get my point. I can't put that weight back where it was. Cancel. Send out. Stint. She's on race. She's on the right tyres. Out you go. 4 times speed. In fact, we can go to 12 times speed. You will notice, I forgot to mention, we can zoom in much more now. Due to the repairing the issue and sorting out the issue that was causing the hard drive difficulty, we can zoom in much faster. It's much more exciting down here. Look, it's almost like Hot Wheels or something. Don't really want to go over 12 times speed though, because it gets a bit harsh. But you can actually see some of the detail on the cars, which is nice. So I think this is going to make the racing a little bit more fun. Especially because we're going to keep an eye on our rivals and we're racing them. We're probably racing the guys in this section of the, you know, the standings here. So we can get a bit of excitement out of this because we're not going to be worrying about really where we are. We've got our own little competition. So these are going up. Now what I was saying about going on the wrong type of tyres, if we knew it was going to be a wet race or a high chance of a wet race, we might want to put intermediates on in practice. That seems to work quite well. However, if it's a wet practice and you put slick tyres on, you accrue the XP cripplingly slowly because it's the wrong tyres. Intermediates seem to give you a lot of leeway. Next time we have a practice that's dry and we think there might be a wet race, I'll put some intermediates on and we'll see exactly how that works out. But just be wary. If it's wet practice, putting on slicks, you will get some XP, but it's going to be really slow. We're up to level 2. Kinney's already on the way in because she's almost run out of fuel. Brillhart's coming into the grid now, into the pits on her way round. I quite like this view. It's a pity you can't just kind of fix it so it stays behind the car or something like that. So you know what I mean. Right, we're in the pit. Stop the clock. Awful. But it doesn't matter. In fact, getting very poor results can sometimes save you a lot of time. And what I mean is, right, so we've got very poor there. Now this setup game, mini game, malarkey, whatever you want to call it, basically there is a sweet spot on each of these which is excellent, and it's very narrow. There's then basically segmented into great, good, poor, and very poor. So I know that for the weight distribution to get from very poor to great has got to probably be at least that far. I'm going to go about there as a first go, but we'll see. Okay, that's the plan. So if that on the handling was very poor, we're going to need again to be about that far away. We'll move that weight back now as it's been adjusted. So yeah, I'm just saying that's the gap. I'm putting no science into this. That is the gap I think there is between where you're going to get very poor and where you're going to get great. I don't think it can be worse than very poor, so it might need to go further. Once you're in the red, it goes on forever. So here, poor. Now, we probably haven't got room to get... Well, we haven't got room there in the adjustment to get much better than poor. So it must be this way, and it's less far away than the very poor to great was. So I'm going to go about that far. And that is the science of my setup. We're already on the way to level 3. So let's get them both back out as they are on the same tyres. There's no need to put them on fresh tyres. I'm not looking for track positions here at all. Exactly the same thing now with Kinney. I'll try and do this quite quickly, just base. Well, that's right in the middle, but we can't adjust that far enough. Well, actually we could. But we know it must be similar to the other car. So we're going to go about there. So that's the distance, I think, from okay to great. That's my thinking. Handling, we could go either way, but we know we had to go hard. Or did we go hard or did we go soft with the other one? I can't remember. No, we must have. No, we can't go that soft, so it has to be that way. So from poor to great, I'm going to say it's probably that far. We're going to move the weight back a little bit there. And speed balance, again, we can't go that way. So it has to be this way, and it's going to be about as far as, same sort of gap as that. So, yeah, there you go. The science of my setups, it's just maps basically. I don't even have to look at the course map, just let me have a go like that. Of course you can, please, I'd love to see you do your setups based on your knowledge of what you're going to need for a map. I just go for that. Distances. So we're all good to go. Off you go. Right, qualifying. Now we still have no race sponsor, so I'm just going to put them out. Auto pick. I don't think there's going to be any confusion there. We've only got the one perk that's relevant to qualifying. We need to mess with these setups, but now I think if that's great, that's okay. That was poor and that's okay. So the speed balance we want back here. One more back towards okay. Handling we can let move, but we need to move the cornering back. So basically I've gone too far. I overestimated the scale, so back from good to great. It's probably about that far. The handling I'm going to let adjust that far because we might hit an excellent. I'm thinking softer rather than harder. And we could, of course, if we wanted to, just try that. But I think we want to maybe move this across one or two more. Was it very poor? No, it's poor. There. We go for that. We got another go. Once we get in from this run, we'll get one more piece of feedback, and I'm sure that will be enough. So we're going to do the same here. I think we've just probably not... Yeah. So we need to... That was okay. If that was okay and that's okay, then excellent is exactly in the middle of those two okays, which is there. So we want that there. Handling, we were good there. We were poor there. So back towards the middle. And that good to great gap. And we were poor down there. We're good there. So we need to move back, obviously, this way. Sometimes it'll be a little bit outside the mechanic's recommendation, but it's never really going to be that far. So we're going to come back that way. That was poor. That was good. A little bit more. So that's the gap from good to great. And we need a slightly bigger gap, maybe. No, we want him right in the middle of those two okays. And we might want to come closer to these. If that's the gap from okay to great to excellent, we've done it here, and we're getting closer to where we were. And put that back there. Done. Out you go. Take qualifying. Now remember, if you skip qualifying with your drivers in it, you'll use 2 sets of your fastest tyres, at least to a quarter used. The clock is ticking. There's no water issue. We shall send out. And we'll get feedback when you come back in. Thank you very much. Now we're going to go times 4 speed. I'm going to stay quite zoomed out just so I can keep it going a bit faster. Although, right, I'm going to switch Thomas onto auto on this trim, clean air optimization, to get the tyres and the brakes hopefully in these little green segments. When you're not familiar with circuits, just kind of watch where your driver is on the track and watch where it's looking to kind of get these set, where they're getting set. So we know it's the levels here on this bend that we need to have set. That's where they get locked. So we need to get Frankie out for a go. If nothing else, so we get some feedback on the setup. And we're going to have a little punt ourselves at this. So we need to get some heat in them. And the tyres move temp much quicker. Well, the brakes move much quicker than the tyres once you get them going. And get heat back in. Good. Oh, see, I'm getting there. Go on, Frankie. Give us your best shot. And as you can see, Thomas is coming at 15th. At the moment, as it stands, she's good enough to get into round 2. I'm not too worried about whether she gets into round 2 or not at this stage. We're not going to make any money for getting through. Not before we have a sponsor set. So what we do want There's only 41 seconds left, but let's get some feedback. So we've had a great on the handling. Why did I move the handling so far? I have no idea why I did that. So that's where the excellent was, and if that's going back towards okay. There, speed balance is now great. We know that's going to be great. And very poor, good, good. So in between those two goods is an excellent. There you go. So that is going to be, I should think, great, great, maybe good, maybe excellent. If it comes, we'll see. We've got one chance to adjust it before the race. That's it. Not fantastic, but we get in there. We're going to see if we can get, yeah, we want to get you out just so we get some feedback. Excellent, excellent, great. 98%. Well done, Frankie. Off you go. Okay, here we are. It's race day. Frankie and Sarah are ready for their debuts. We only have 2 perks to pick. And now, already, I've got some hindsight. It is, let's have a look. Right, we got the setups nailed. For Frankie, we got her up to 98%, which is beautiful. Tyre choice is the issue. 28 lap race. I wish I'd known this. I would have, well, I don't know actually. 28 lap race means in theory we could make it on a one-stop strategy. However, it's going to be a hot day in Dubai. Our guys are, I think, 8 and 9 on the tyre wear, which is just slightly below average. I think we'd have to drive so conservatively to be absolutely bang on doing that, that it's a bit of a risk. And if it goes wrong, you're literally just an extra pit stop and your strategy is not quite right, especially with the fueling. Now, I actually think option 2, which is better, is 3 9s is 27. I reckon we could try to do this. We've got the option of going out. We're going to go out on super softs and then super softs. And then we've got the option of going out ideally on a 3rd set of super softs. I know we're losing that 15% bonus, and maybe mathematically I'm better off on these tyres. I don't know. But I'm just not going to risk a 2-stop strategy. So I'm going to go out and try that. Now it's the fueling level I need to figure out. 2 stints of 8 laps is 16. That's going to leave 10 laps. The idea is to not have to put too much fuel in on the pit stops on the first pit stop. If we have to put in a couple of litres, that's okay. Sorry, a couple of laps worth. Yeah. So we're going to go out full. And we're going to plan that. 2 sets of super softs. And then we'll decide whether to run the last on soft or super soft. It means we kind of wasted those knowledges from practice potentially. But I think we're better off playing to react, the situation we've got here on race day. So driver style on the tyres, it's going to be push to get the temperatures up, but they'll rise very quickly on a very hot day in Dubai. And engine mode, will run them at overtake as much as possible the whole race. Weight stripping, basically, there doesn't seem a lot in it at the moment. So we take off 20% reliability, which it takes off fairly out of these components, and it's not touching this suspension, which is good. So I guess until they all get down to the same kind of level, it won't. Certainly don't want to be doing that. I could take off, yeah, it's basically an even split. I don't want any of these high use items, which is the brakes, the engines and the gearboxes, primarily going below 75%. So we'll leave Sarah there, 25% off, 25 on. And it's quite a boost, but we started off with such rubbish components. I mean, the engine's now up plus 10, gearbox plus 10. Frankie's car is a little bit more responsive, and I can take her up to minus 40 plus 60 without going below 75. So we're going to do that. So that's it. Can I take you one lower? Yes. That's just taking 5% off the engine, taking it down to 74. And what does that do? Then that's going to take 5% off the brakes. And that, yeah, so I think we'll do that. So 75, 75, 75, 75, 80. That's fine. Done. To the grid, which we're not quite at the back of. I believe we're in, there you go, 16th and 18th for our starting positions. We've got the tactics. We're going to leave the ERS on auto for now. I think we're going to have enough to worry about. We'll go into ×4. I'm going to stay quite zoomed out for now, because there's really not much to see until we start doing pit stops. Temperatures are going up very quickly, so we're going to go to conserve when they hit halfway, and I think they're still going to rise. So we'll keep a close eye. Now what we could do here, I'm going to drop Frankie back to high for a little while. Am I? Or am I going to do that on the second stint? No, I'm going to run her at 2 or 3 laps at high. So say up to lap 6. I'm just thinking of the fuel left on the second stint, and it might be a good idea for one to have a lap or 2 more than the other, and I don't want to really refuel in this stop. If I can avoid it, let's see. That might be a better idea, to conserve a bit of fuel. We've got a penalty for partnering already. All these guys up here got started on the, apart from Gatto, on the tyres with 25% wear already. So they're definitely going to have to be on a 2-stop strategy. The guys that have gone out on softs will have to see. You can kind of see these guys that seem to be conserving them a bit more than these guys, but we'll know soon enough. Where are we? Lap 5. Oh, and our tyre temperatures. See, I get sidetracked by looking at pretty stuff on the screen and the facts and the figures, and our tyre temps have just gone through the roof. And when the needle's at the top, not only have you dramatically increased the wear, you actually lose the benefit of pushing or, you know, running the tyres on a higher mode anyway. So you want to keep these down. So we're going to have to run on conserve anyway on the tyres for a good while now to get these temperatures back to an acceptable level. And we may regret that's a little bit of extra tyre wear. Although I don't know. We got 3 laps probably left on each car. Maybe 2. That'll get us up to lap 8. We need to try to get 9 laps out of each set of super softs to be able to run purely on them. But I don't think using a set of softs for one stint is going to cripple us. So 35, 35. They're exactly equal. They're only 2 seconds apart. But a tyre only pit stop will only take about 4 seconds. So if we need to pit them on the same lap, it's not going to be the disaster it could be, but we don't really want to do that. So these guys have changed already. So we may... Look, Pernay is really going easy on his tyres. So he may be the guy who's going for a one-stop strategy. Not sure these guys can with that much wear already. Well, we've got some more guys coming into the pits, but we need to pit very soon. We're on lap 8. I'm going to pit Kinney in first. And we'll put her onto another set of those, and she's still got enough fuel to... Now she's got enough fuel to have a good go in the second stint as well. Yeah. Go. Is that right? Where are we? I'm just going to watch Thomas in case I do need to switch this around. Let's see where we are when we get there. No. They're 2 seconds apart. We're on lap 9. I'm going to call them both in now. I really don't want to risk getting below that 15% on these tyres, and they're already at about 20. They're not going to get another lap. So we've got enough fuel. Pit strategy is fine. And there'll be... Frankie might tell us off, but I think the delay here is going to be minimal if there's no mistake on Sarah's pit stop. Dirt, gone. Go. There you go. I think, yeah. Maybe a second or 2 for Frankie, but she's a good girl, she'll live with it. Right, we're going to go on to neutral to get the tyres warmed up. We have got plenty of fuel now, I think, to run on overtake, at least for a few laps. We'll review shortly. Condition, ooh, that suspension's looking scary. We might have wanted to fix that. But not on a fuel only pit stop, so let's see. That's our little risk. If we need to bring Sarah in a little bit early to get that repaired, then she's going on softs. It'll make that decision for us. But at the moment, with some people ahead us to pit who are only 20 odd seconds ahead, it's anybody's race. Till we get to the last stints, it can be a little bit of a mishmash with people running completely different tyre strategies. So Thomas is now up to 12th. And Frankie's doing fine work in 17th. And everything is looking good. The tyres haven't hit the red zone yet. Once they do, we'll put them on conserve and just keep bouncing them up between halfway and right around where this red line is. We will not get sidetracked by anything. We're going to drop your tyres down to conserve, both of you. I need to get another... Ooh, I don't know. I might drop you both back to high for a couple of laps while I do a bit of maths. Got Minez, he was obviously on the one stop and he's having a bit of a repair. He's gone on to softs. So he's got to halfway. And maybe he hasn't quite, has he? I don't know. I'm surprised that he's changed from his soft tyres, to super softs now. When he could have, he's halfway through the race. I don't know. Well, that's why I'm not the AI. So we're 8th and 14th now, and we seem to be reasonably equalised pit stop wise. So let's keep an eye on things. Again, they're on the same lap. They're 6 seconds behind, but there's going to be fueling, so we definitely need one of these guys maybe to come in sooner. We've got 2 laps to think about it. Or have we? No, we might have 1 lap to think about it. So let's do some maths. Who's the lowest? You're a lap lower on fuel, Sarah. 13 laps remaining. Right, I'm going to get Sarah in onto softs now. She's going to get the full 1.4 fuel load. So that would be 12 plus 0.4, so 15. That sound about right? We'll make it 16. 12, no, I've said 18, 17, that should be fine. We do, I think, probably need to look at your brakes, do we, Sarah? Oh, yes, just caught them just as they were going into the red. Fantastic. And I'm going to claim all the credit for that perfect timing. And we're going to try to get 4 seconds off your pit stop with a fast stop. The crew are fresh. And then Frankie we can tinker with. But that's Sarah. No mistakes. Cool. That is now Sarah set for the race. And we can run at overtake. And we can run at conserve until she warms up. We'll run at 0.4. Right, now we need to seriously think about Frankie. Alright. Who's now right over here. So Frankie is now heading. She's just gone past. And she's on 28%. So she is gonna need to come in on her next lap. We'll decide when we're closer. We're going to follow her around. We're going to go to Frankie Cam. And I'm going to remember that I need to call her pit stop and not forget. Our options are very limited. Let's go up to ×2. Who's this? Who's the competition behind us? Right, I need to focus. We're in 13th. Thomas is at the back, but she's no more pit stops to make, and most of the here. There are lots more to be done, so we're doing okay. Some pit stops happening, right? We're going to be pushing our luck here. I reckon we're going to be down way under on the tyres. Let's see. We're going to go even to back up. We are going to call her in the pit. She is going back out on super softs. We're really pushing our luck. 9 laps of fuel. We want 13 in the car. I think that rounds up. Park condition. We'll give them brakes a tweak. And I might have just really messed you up, Frankie. Sorry, I know you're on low fuel, but you've got fuel to get back to the doodah. Have you got the tyres? Yes, just. 11%. I'm amazed that we kept yeah, we did that. Brilliant management all round, and we've got no mistakes on the pit stop again. Team, beers on me tonight. We are now done for pit stops. We need you on neutral. You can go to overtake. You're doing all right. You've got a little bit of extra. Nah, you've probably got a lap's spare fuel. Sarah. We're now 15th and 19th, and a lot of people need to pit ahead of us. I don't know how that's going to help us positionally. It depends on the gap. We're about 20 seconds behind these people here, so I think potentially we might get up a few places yet, because we've done our pit stops. Our strategy is out. We're going to zoom out. We're going to get those tyres onto conserve. We're going to watch temperature gauges very carefully. 12th and 17th is fine, and there are definitely, I think, I don't know now, that might be it for pit stops, but I'm happy with this. 11th and 16th, 12th and 16th. Right, you can really now push your I'm going to let you push your tyres. We've got 3 laps left now, 3 and a bit laps. We're doing really well on everything. We seem to have a bit spare tyreage, but we do need to be careful. 12th and 16th. Thomas, can you catch that guy up there who's in 11th? Lay, who's that? Grand Slam Autosport, they're one of the top teams. Your spoiler's fine. Don't look at it. No, we're going to leave you on conserve. Just going to make that not... Oh, wow. Who was that? Giuliani. Somebody was absolutely on fire there. Looking very broken. Right. Lap 27. We are 11th and 14th. Let's not muck anything up now, guys. We're not cooking anyone's tyres. We're on the last lap now. Is it worth us getting either of these guys to push? Frankie, go. Go. Go, Frankie, fly. Not quite sure what happened there. Come on, Frankie, you don't need a rear spoiler to get past this guy. Come on. Come on. Go on, go on, go on, go, 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 go. We're doing all right, we're doing all right. We are finishing the race. Come on, Frankie. Big push, big push. You can get past him. Come on. Oh, did we? No. Okay, 11th and 15th. Race 2. Debut for our 2 drivers. Still some reliability issues on the car. Oh, my word. Yes, look. We did run that a little bit fine, but I'm very happy with that. No disasters. Okay, and we'll have a quick look at the tyre report. Nobody made it on a 2-stop strategy. I don't know what happened to NATO here, but he's gone 2 laps on a set of softs and then changed to super softs, which seems, and then 11 laps. He's got 11 laps out of their super softs, which we just don't seem to be capable of. Although Frankie did, look. She did it. Just on the soft tyres. Sarah didn't quite, but that was also to do with desyncing the pit stop. So we maybe could have done a little better there, but we're 11th and 15th. One guy, Pernay, I spotted him, didn't I? One spot there. He's the only guy on the one-stop strategy. Let's have a look at the standings. Driver standings. And where is Monsieur Pernay? Is he up near the top? Yeah, he's good. So he's obviously got some skills there. I would imagine we'll scout him maybe. Check the competition out. He's got quite a good smoothness score. I'd bet you 20p. 17th and 21 in the driver's standings after 2 races is thoroughly acceptable. And we climbed, rocketed up to 8th position in the team standings. It's now us on 28. 3 points ahead of Oakham, 16 points ahead of poor Magyar Engineering, and they've got quite good cars and quite good money. I think they must have shockingly bad drivers or something. And Yuma Racing are just 5 points ahead of us. And then, yeah, there's them up there. So if we can get in the mix here, we can stay in the mix between like 6th and 8th, 5th and 8th for the season. That'd be kind of cool, but I'm very happy. And just as importantly, not scrutineering, because we know we can't fail that. We're not in a position to. So, again, look. So Lars has won. He's got the fastest lap in the race, but Old Landvik got the qualifying. This will happen a lot. These two. Bit of gossip for you. There we are. I'm very happy with where we are in all the standings. Thank you very much. There's the media report. Did we get on the Twitter? I guess it could have been worse, Sailing Speedstars. Happy-ish. That's it. Is that it for our mentions? Right, and here's the post-match report. We're doing very nicely. The chairman is very happy. Plus 24% after that race. I mean, that's how we're kind of overachieving. Marketability up plus 1.33%. Bit of improvement on Sarah. She steadily improves. Frankie, we'll see if we get any improvement. It may go up, but who knows? She's not here to improve. She's here to do work. Driver form 8.7. 7.3. I'm not surprised, ladies. Well done, the both of you. And just as importantly, we've only lost £543,000 after race 2. You'll quite often be losing at least double that. And we've still got 4 empty sponsor slots, maybe 5. Right, we're going to leave it there. Reflecting in the team glory of the 8th position and the 28 points after just 2 races. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying it. I hope you like where I'm going with this. We'll see how Frankie gets on. She's certainly doing her bit to pay the bills. Let's see if she can get some points, bless her. She made a good debut, as did Sarah. Thanks very much for watching. We'll be back soon, getting ready for the next race, seeing what more we can do to improve our car. So thanks very much. Take care and goodbye.